Okay, I think that's my cue. Sige. So what's going on, everybody? Kumusta kayong lahat mula sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or wherever the heck you are on the planet? This is your one and only JOAT, the place to be for any niche, every genre, and all generations. Who is your master of ceremony?
D to the E to the LRO,
AKA,
JDR,
AKA.
the extraordinary introvert. Ooh, I hope you guys love that. So, before we start, shout out to all the blinks. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed tomorrow's concert. Shout out to all the ones. Shout out to all the Revelog, I'm sure they got you all feeling psycho. Shout out to the army, I guess. I mean, I'm sure your boys had a big year last year. Pero sa army dyan, sana po hinay-hinay lang po tayo ha. Like, it's okay to be a fan, but let's not try to be too much of a hardcore stan. Try not to bully other fan bases online. Let's just keep it nice and friendly, alright? So shout out to all those fan bases. Shout out to all the Oppa. Shout out to all the Noonas checking in. But last but not the least, you really thought kakalimutan ko kayo? No way. Shout out sa lahat ng mga UN na nanonood ngayon. Obviously, no episode is complete without an IU shout out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that fan cam over there. I mean, alam ko, di ako dancer guys, pero wala, anything for IU guys, anything for IU. So, I'm sure sobrang nasasabik kayo because there are a lot of K-dreamers, there are a lot of K-pop fans here in the Philippines and obviously all around the world. So, paano kaya naging malaki? How did K-pop become so big here on our shores? Why is it such a trendy topic here? And really all over. Like, grabe po, ma'am. Like, the K-pop rise to popularity, it has really grown exponentially. And we're going to talk about all that later. So, with that out of the way, let's welcome in our guest. So, she is a junior high school teacher. She was also one of my moderators in our college org. But most of all, I mean, I know she's a teacher and all. But this episode, we won't be talking about school and all of that. We've already had episodes of those in season 1. She is a die-hard K-dreamer. She loves her K-drama, she loves her K-pop, and she is also a certified UNA, just like me. So without further ado, let's give it up for this teacher who is sweet as Surop, Miss Maria Agnes Surop, aka your next door Noona.
Ko po. Ayan, alam na nila kung sino, si next door Noona. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jake. Good evening. Annyeonghaseyo.
Yes, Annyeong to you as well, ma'am.
Annyeong to everyone who's watching right now.
Yes. Did you like that fan cam right there?
I did. Anything with IU and of course with you, fanboying over IU is right up my alley. So, okay na okay ako doon. Ang galing ah. Kabisado mo lahat ng step to BB.
Grabe po, it took me the entire night just to master the choreo. And I'm sure di po yun perfect, no?
Okay yan.
No one can do it better than I.
Okay lang naman. That's fine. You did well. Tsaka, ano yan, personally, hindi ko kaya yan. Hanggang ano lang ako, hanggang kanta lang ako.
Grabe. I'm not sure if you see me in the background, guys, pero sobrang nanginginig ako because I'm so excited, but I'm also very nervous because I was mentioning to Ma'am off-air na this is another teacher guest. And when it comes to teachers, I have the ultimate respect for you guys. So me as a host, like I have to be in my A game. I have to make sure I perform well, No absolute perfection. But yeah, it's gonna be a great episode for sure. So
It will be.
any
Yeah,
opening
it will
remarks
be.
before we get the show on the road, Miss Nuna?
Nuna, from your Nuna, your next door Nuna. Um, I'm also looking forward to this evening's podcast, or FB Live.
Mhm.
So ngayon, alam na ng buong alam na ng buong FB at saka social media verse na kung sino si next door Nuna. Um, I'm actually I'm actually very excited to share my love for K-dramas and K-pop. So, kung ano man yung, I mean, anything that I can share about K-dramas and K-pop and K-culture,
Mhm.
sige, let's bring them all here this evening.
Yes, let's
So,
bring
yes,
it on.
I'm very excited and let's have fun with it.
Yes, for
Yep.
sure, for sure. And yo, an early shout out to Ma'am Erica Jenny Rosena. What's up po, ma'am?
Hello, Miss Rosena. Hi, Ikay. Yan, kung ma-fangirl ka. You know, Miss Rosena is actually, my friend Miss Rosena is actually an army. She
Ooh.
loves Jimin. Di ba, Miss Rosena?
Ako hanggang si
She
Sugar.
loves Jimin and Suga. Yeah.
Hanggang si Sugar lang po ako because
Yeah, ayan, magkakasundo kayo.
Yes.
Magkakasundo kayo. She loves Jimin and Suga. So,
And you know, it's also funny si Ma'am Rosena, sayang, because when I was in first year high school, I think I was 1M, I think. So I think si Ma'am Rosena, she was teaching regular English, but unfortunately for me, I had to go to Speng, and if you guys don't know what Speng is, it's special English. So that is under the great Sir Falgi, and I think Ma'am over here subbed for our class one day. I'm not sure if she remembers me for that anymore because sobrang taba ko na dati, but at least, you know, after all those years, we're back
cutie pie
together.
BB boy ka pa nun. Yes, yes.
But yeah, shout out po to Ma'am
So,
for tuning in.
Yan. So, shout out daw, Miss Rosena. Yan, sabi niya, she remembers you. Diba? So, she remembers Jake Del Rosario. I love it.
Yeah, super mahihain po ako, ma'am. Like, I was never the talkative type no high school. So, a lot of people have been telling me now, me doing this podcast is very shocking. So, again, major thanks to everyone.
Oh, but, you know, this is definitely a great idea, you know. Diba? Yeah. I applaud you for doing this.
For sure. And oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Totally off topic again, but I totally forgot to press the record button. So OBS. That's how carried away I am with this topic.
Ano ba? Okay lang yan.
Pero okay lang po. Like for all the YouTube peeps, for all the Spotify peeps, you will be able to catch this episode pa rin. It's just gonna be some incomplete fragments, but we're gonna find a way to deliver this on the following platforms, alright? So,
Yep.
By the way, paano pala yung pronunciation ng BBI? I really don't know. Alam ko BB, but at first,
BB.
akala
Yeah.
ko you spell it like one by one.
No, you say it like that. BB.
BB.
BB. But just lang. BB. Yeah.
Actually,
BB. Ayos BB.
That actually brings me to my first question, and magpapa-icebreaker ko muna tayo, guys. So, Miss Nuna, I know you are an English teacher in real life, but sa dami ng K-drama na napapanood mo, you know, could you give us like a quick Korean lesson, maybe a quick FLC of sorts? Kahit simple terms lang.
Simple terms,
Yeah.
alam mo. Marami ako niyan. Sige. Syempre kanina, nag-start na tayo with the greeting. So, annyeong haseyo means hello, di ba? And then, I think you would sometimes hear the ajumas and the ajushi saying aigo,
Aigu. And Aigu means, oh my God, parang ganon. So, Aigu, Daebak.
Yes,
Yan.
Daebak,
Daebak
Daebak.
means,
Awesome.
awesome. Yan. I'm not sure if many of you actually know this, but the actual expression for for shock or surprise that is widely used by the Koreans, it's actually hol.
Mm.
Hol. Yan. Hol.
Uh-huh.
Kasi diba sometimes you hear them say wah, wah.
Yes, yes.
The common expression is hol. Yan. Tapos ano pa ba? Ano pa ba mga Korean lingo na alam ko na madaling i-pronounce? Chebal is please, 'di ba? Chebal. And then yung mga common food nila, ramyeon, yan, tteokbokki. Napunta na tayo sa food. Ramyeon, tteokbokki. Tapos, one last would be, of course, Saranghae.
Yes, of course.
Saranghae means what?
I love you.
Saranghae. 네, 맞아요. 잘했어요. 사랑해요. So, yan. Yan yung mga yung mga commonly used tawag dito, terms. Yan. Sa K-dramas. Pero syempre, meron din yung mga the more common ones, Nuna, Azuma, Ajusi, Oppa. Yeah. Oppa. Yon. Ang hirap naman ng icebreaker mo, Jake.
Sorry po, ma'am. Pero yeah, sobrang mali, no? Mali yung pag-pronounce ko ng mga Korean terms. Like, I may be a fan, pero I'm not the biggest expert.
Oh, it's okay.
But yeah, so far...
Ako rin naman. I'm not the biggest expert.
So far, so good. And again, another quick shout out to Miss Darlene Chua Keng. Fighting daw tayo, ma'am.
Hi, Darlene! Darlene's my friend. Hi, Darlene.
Yes. The Noonas stands are taking over our chat. So we love to see it, guys. Alright. Yes, I needed to take a deep breath.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
Yes. Salamat sa inyo.
Well, we'll have fun.
For sure.
Mm-mm.
And by
we'll
the way,
have fun.
if you guys missed that intro, don't worry. Knowing me, I'm very generous. We will re-upload that for those who missed my BB choreo, you know. Don't worry, guys. Kung bahala sa inyo.
If you want to see Jake dance to the tune of Ayu's BB.
Yes, for sure. All right, grabe, ang dami natin in-unpack in just 10 minutes or so. But honestly, like no offense to the first 2 episodes for season 2 and to all the other episodes I've had in the past. Pero ito talaga yung pinaka na-excite ako because grabe talaga yung Korean culture. It just took over overnight. I really don't know how we got here. Like, it's crazy. Like, a year ago, if you were to ask me if I would be into K-pop, I'd think you'd be crazy. Like, grabe, I'd be the type not to be into that stuff. And I was one of those skeptics na, oh, this is just a fad. It's just a trend that will just fade over time. And then here you are 1 year and a whole pandemic later, having not 1, not 2, but 3 fan cams already of me doing IU choreo and just filling up my Spotify playlist with nothing but K-pop songs that I actually listened to back then. Believe it or not, I was actually a secret fan. Hindi naman ako toxic stan and all, but I actually appreciated K-pop, for all you guys know. di ko lang na convey because it'd be so embarrassing, diba? Like, can you imagine you liking all these weird choreos and all? But then here we are, 2021, actually since 2020 pa, super loving the sounds and just the overall vibes that these Koreans bring all the time. So, yeah, I've been exposed, guys, for sure.
That's good. That's good. Kasi, like ako din personally, I keep telling my friends and even some of my students when they ask me, "Ma'am, are you into this group? Are you into this group? Are you into K-pop in general?" I would tell them. I would tell them.
Sorry, guys, we're having a little technical difficulties. We'll be right. Or we'll not be right back. We'll just
Hold
stay
on.
here on the air. Chill lang tayo muna. How's your night? How's the first month of January? We do have a chat below, so if you want to fill in for Miss Noonas for a little bit, feel free to do so. But rest assured, we'll take care of certain things soon. All right.
Hi.
All right. It's okay.
Ayan. It's all good. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Ayan. As I was saying, yun, sabi ko, my students would ask me, "Ma'am, are you into K-pop? Are you into this group?" Ganyan. I would tell them, some. I'm actually, parang I choose the songs I listen to. Sabihin ko sa kanila, I'm more into the OSTs, the K-drama OSTs talaga. But, yun din like you, Jake, parang recently, during this pandemic in particular, nahumaling ako kay IU.
Yes.
I really enjoy listening to IU songs and BTS, of course. Some of the songs of BTS are actually very energizing and uplifting. So yun. And I guess for K-pop, it's bigger than you and me, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and it has a huge following.
Yes.
So parang it's unavoidable for you to actually not listen to K-pop or to any song for that matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. And yeah, same for me. Like during this whole season, chill lang muna tayo sa bahay and all that, and work from home and all that stuff. Napapakinig din ako sa K-pop, or not K-pop, but just Korean music in general. Kasi grabe po, ma'am. Like, although a lot of haters keep clowning these artists, like, grabe the amount of talent these musicians, these actors, like, the fact that they're entertaining us throughout this quarantine, like, super saludo po. Saludo po tayo sa inyo. Like, hopefully, we can see these people when they get to visit here again. And actually, I have a couple of regrets in life. It's not taking FLC in Korean and missing out on IU's Love Poem Tour back in 2019. Like, super regret not making
Ay nako, say. Yes, that's actually one of my regrets also, not being able to go to the IU concert with my friend. Hello, Reverend Earl. Shout out to you if you're watching. Yun. And yes, going to the BTS concert. I think that was like a few years ago.
Wow.
Diba? So sayang talaga yun. But I've been to a couple of fan meets.
Nice.
So mamaya na natin anahin yan. Mamaya na natin ungkatin yan.
For sure. And that's why lalo po tayo nagdadasal na, matapos na tong new normal, we get to meet herd immunity, because I'm sure the thousands of millions of Pinoy K-pop fans wanna gather around in these huge venues and just see their favorite artists live again. Like, grabe, I was binging through some concert vids, in MOA, Araneta, grabe. Like, they fill up these arenas more than your typical basketball games and all other concerts. Grabe po yung mga Pinoy K-pop fans. Like, ibang klase po sila.
Totoo. Tsaka, tawag dito, they sell out arenas. As in talagang napupuno yung mga arenas. And, the fans really spend.
Yes.
I mean, they really save up and they spend para lang makita yung mga idols nila. And there's nothing wrong with that, diba? Whatever
Sure.
makes you happy and as long as you can afford it, diba? So why not?
Yeah. And totoo rin yung mga fans. Like, they're not...
So that's what true fan girl.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. And they don't just... Some countries kasi they just do the fan chants and all. Pero grabe yung mga Pinoy fans, like, they sing the whole song. They literally sing the entire song during the live performances. Like, grabe, ibang klase talaga.
Alam nila. Oo, alam nila talaga. So, ano ba yun? I was watching this clip a couple of days ago. IU, when she had her concert here, and she sang Heart. Yung I love that song, by the way. She sang Heart, and then she was just amazed and she was blown away because the fans knew the lyrics and knew the song by heart. So parang she ended up holding the microphone up and letting them sing. Wow. That was very touching. So, alam talaga nila yung lyrics. Ako, personally, again, talent ko yan, Jake. I admit. Mahilig ako mag-memorize ng mga lyrics, mga Korean lyrics, pati yung pronunciation. Dapat pati yung pronunciation kuhang-kuha ko. So, yan, yung mga lyrics ng mga K-drama OSTs, yung mga ibang kanta, kailangan kabisado ko. So yun.
Yes, definitely. Wow. That's some amazing stuff right there. Like, grabe yung mga nagsha-share namin dito sa live. Like, it just shows na we're really passionate with Korean culture. And I guess this is a good question also, since we're sharing personal experiences and all. So, I'm sure you answered this a while ago, but I guess this is good to ask again. So, what was your first set of biases? Like, how did you become so heavily invested on Korean culture?
For me to answer that question, Jake, we would have to go back in time. We have to retrace our steps to 15 years ago.
Wow.
So, talagang since I was in high school, I've been watching K-dramas. So, yung mga biases ko dati, siguro ngayon may mga pamilya na may mga pamilya na itong mga oppas na to sa Korea. So I remember having a huge crush on Lee Dong-gun and Rain.
Yes.
Which whom I still love hanggang ngayon. Si Rain. And sino pa ba yung yung dalawang yun talaga yung tumatak sa akin. And then recently humahaba yung listahan. So recently yan, sila Iminho because of it all started because of Boys Over Flowers. I think that was around 2008. Ayan. 2008. And then of course sina Park Seo-joon.
Yes.
Who doesn't like Park Seo-joon? And sino Ji Sang-wook, yan. Tapos syempre my ultimate loves si Park Bo-gum, and si Lee Sung-ho. Ito, very recently, dumagdag sa listahan ko si Lee Sung-ho, and Hyun Bin, and Yoo Yeon-seok. Yun.
Yes.
So, basically, to answer your question, yun, we have to go back in time 15 years ago. Meron ako mga biases nun. And because of them, actually, yun, talagang sabi ko, I love K-culture, I love K-dramas, I love K-pop. Well, some aspects of K-pop also, of course. So, pero mahal pa rin natin yan. And sabi ko talaga, I will study their language. Yan. So, I've fallen in love with K-culture so much that I really, really studied their language as early as high school.
Wow.
So, yun.
Wow.
O, diba?
2006? That's...
Addict lang.
Grabe, like that long ago pala. I really thought it was like a now type of thing kasi, over the past few years, K-pop was becoming big. But the fact that you've been following it pala that long, like, it's amazing. Grabe pa.
I have. And I've, fortunately, actually, nakita ko kung paano mag-grow yung industry nila doon. I mean, I've seen how Hallyu or the Korean wave progress or develop over the years. I've been fortunate to see its growth and how the K-dramas have evolved. Parang if anything, the K-dramas have gotten more beautiful and more substantial. Tapos with K-pop, syempre hindi maiwasan na parang there would be wave after wave after wave of groups and singers and artists and dancers. So, and hanggang ngayon consistent pa rin naman they still produce very good talent. And the thing that I also find admirable about Hallyu na lang kasi Hallyu yan K-pop, K-drama, diba?
Yeah.
The thing about Hallyu is their talents are really, or their artists are really talented. Not only can they sing and dance, but talagang they can also act. Many of them can also act, which is good.
Yeah. Wow. Grabe. Like, if you guys think that you guys are bigger fans or you think you're the most hardcore stan, I think no one beats the Next Door Nuna because since 2006, that's 15 years. That's 15 years of committing yourself to the Korean culture. That's crazy. And we're gonna continue giving shoutouts, by the way.
No. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, but Jake, there are more tawag dito, knowledgeable fans. So hindi lang ako yung alam mo yun. May mas marami pang alam, may mas marami pang napanood, napakinggan. Yeah.
Yes. All right, so before I continue, let's give some shoutouts to Sir Joey. What is up? Another org moderator of mine, along with Miss Aggie. It seems that Ma'am Rosena is flooding our...
Si Miss Rosena, mga mo comments,
It's crazy. We had more engagement here in this episode than our entire first year high school together. Like, grabe pa.
That's good.
Yeah. But then again, it was because of unforeseeable events like me going to Spang and all that. But yeah, shout out to...
Oh, but you're a good boy.
That's for sure. Anyways, my turn to share. So, believe it or not, guys, like you may think that I'm a huge K-pop stan, like ngayon lang and all. But actually, it kind of dates back to 2009, and it wasn't the whole I'm super invested na and all, right? But it's just me being a casual fan. 2009, if you remember, grade 6 ako noon. I think you were in college. I think the one song I'm sorry, man. Oh my gosh, did I
Oo.
spill tea?
Tama naman. No, not at all. Not at all. But yes, I was in college when you were in grade 6. I think,
Yes.
I was in senior year.
Mhm.
I was in my last year in college.
Yes.
So, yun. Mm-mm.
Anyways, 2009. I'm sure you guys remember the Wonder Girls, yung nobody but Yup.
Sinasayaw namin yun sa org room dati. Ng mga org mates ko. Mga ACMG years din.
Wow.
So, yeah. Sinasayaw namin sa org room. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I would know.
Yes, Wonder Girls, of course. That song was always stuck in my head back then, and I wasn't even a huge K-pop fan back then. I had no idea what the heck Korean music was at the time. But you know how the mixed music channel, like they have these weekly countdowns
Yeah.
and all. All I would see are K-pop songs from yun nga, Wonder Girls, Super Junior, GG, 21, So I was actually exposed early on, believe it or not.
A word about that. Yes, my OG stan for girl groups is actually, well, aside from Wonder Girls, Girls' Generation.
Mm.
As in, of the Girls' Generation. So, papasok, pauwi, yan, I would listen to Girls' Generation. But yes, that's good. You've been exposed really well.
Yeah.
Yan.
Yes. Pero yun nga, I wasn't a big fan, but I've been hearing these songs na for a long time na. Hindi ko lang ini-express yung pagka-fandom ko, but I was knowledgeable now of some of the stuff Korean artists would produce back then. So you have those, and then obviously as the years went on, that wasn't my main type of music. I'm a hip hop guy. I'm a rap guy. Like I love my rap music, which is why last year, 2020, I was lucky enough to stumble upon some groovy Korean hip hop and R&B. Actually, that started it all. Believe it or not, the Korean.
What particular artist? Who's this?
There's a lot for it. Like I'm not
Who's
sure.
the artist that you follow?
I'm not sure if you know. I'm not sure if you know Hayes, but she is one of my favorites.
Okay,
Yeah.
parang hindi ko niya kilala.
She was the one who sang one of the
Si-
songs for Hotel de Luna, but yeah.
Who else? Sino pa?
I'm not sure if you know Jay Park, but I'm a huge fan of Jay Park.
Sino kilala kong rapper? Mad Clown. Siguro Din. Si Din. Well, yeah. So the Korean, I think they're younger. I think these are younger rappers or rap artists.
Mhm.
So, yun.
Yes.
Pero may mga OG din na rap artists.
Mhm. And then yun nga, I'd also listen to
So
Crush.
that's good. So you're into
I'm not sure if you know Crush, but I'm
Crush.
yes.
The
The blue-haired
yes, because
guy.
he sang. Yes, he sang. Parang he sang one of the songs in Goblin. Yata.
Mm.
Syempre, ang reference ko kay drama.
Okay
So-
lang ba? And then I'm sure you know this.
Sino?
I'm sure you know this artist because she was the one who sang the main song for Chloe, si Yerin Baek.
Yes, Bekyerin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she actually released an album late December.
Recently.
Yes.
That's good. Nowadays, aside from IU, I'm actually into Stella Jang.
Yes, I've heard of
I
her
love
also.
Stella Jang. And pero I love her songs because they're very parang they're very hindi upbeat relaxing.
Yeah.
Pero a little playful also.
Mhm.
Yeah, her music is a little playful and relaxing at the same time. And she's actually very talented.
Yes.
Magaling siya mag-gitara.
Mhm.
Urban Zacapa.
Mm.
So, one of my favorites. So, yun. Mga, mas into ballads naman ako, Jake.
Mhm.
So,
You should
yun.
also check out. You should also check out Cheese, by the way. Cheese is the name.
Although, of the artist,
Yeah.
diba?
Mhm.
Mm-mm. Pero, konti lang din ang alam ko na song.
Yeah, because I also like to venture into K-indie, like Korean indie songs. Because, super galing talaga ng mga Koreano. Like, they're not just, the whole bubblegum pop
Absolutely.
and all. But, like, they actually are very diverse. And, I have,
I
my brother
agree.
and my brother and I actually have a playlist for all the hidden finds. So, you know what? I should actually put it here in our comments, in the chat. But yeah.
Yeah, you might want to share it with our guests or our visitors
Yes.
in our FB live. Shout out to my students who are tuning in. Hi guys. Hello. Yan.
Yes.
Mga nag-message. Annyeong.
Yes, sumanda po kayo kay ma'am because kapag school session, like she's in her element.
Yeah. These are my former students. So,
Nice.
hi guys.
Yes, what's up?
Well, then, hi Igo.
Mhm. So yeah, you're just sharing, some of our favorite Korean artists, whether popular or not, and we just shared, how we got here, because yun nga, super unexpected na K-pop would just boom, not just here in the Philippines, not just in Korea, obviously, but all across the globe. Like, it's become such a hit, talaga.
And the Filipino fans, actually, the Filipino K-pop fans are quite endearing. Parang it seems that the Filipino fans are quite endearing for and tawag dito, recognized. Yan. Quite endearing and are recognized by the Korean artists. Kasi nga, ang laki ng following Ang laki ng following nila dito sa Philippines.
Yes, that's for sure.
So, yun. Keep standing. You guys out there, keep standing your biases. Huwag kayong mahiya.
Yes, that's certainly true. And actually, by the way, since we've been listing down artists and stuff, I actually want to give a shout out. Like, I'm sure you know this artist that I'm referring to. No, not IU, pero iba pa. I'm sure you know her because, grabe, sobrang magaling siya pa mag-Tagalog. So I'm referring to Sandara Park.
Yes, Dara. I follow Dara on IG. I love her post. Yes.
And
Dara.
Grabe, like,
Oh my God.
mas fluent pa siya mag-Tagalog, kumpara sa mga, Kanya Arnians.
Ikaw ba, Jake, naabutan mo si Sandara nung nandito pa siya sa Philippines?
Actually,
Naabutan mo ba siya?
I'm sure narinig ko po siya, pero I didn't know na taga 21 siya. Like, I really just saw them as random artists on the screen, random girls on the screen.
Oh, my youth. Yun, naabutan ko pa siya. Dito siya sa bansa. And then, yun nga, eventually she moved back to Korea and she became part of 21 and parang nakakagulat lang din kasi bigla silang sikat dun. Tapos hala, ang laki-laki na nila dun. So they're larger than life there in Korea. But unfortunately, yun nga, nag-disband na sila. So may mga kanya-kanya na rin silang mga careers ngayon. Si CL is, I think, well, she's still busy with, her music. Dara has been into parang Dara has been in a few appearances. She has made a few appearances recently. So I'm not sure about Minty and I don't remember the name of the other member. So, yun. Ay, oo, si Dara.
Yes.
She loves the Philippine culture. Kasi parang she's rooted here as well. So
Yeah.
yun, nakakatuwa siya. Nakakatuwa siya kasi hanggang ngayon parang pa rin parang she shares her experiences here in the country with her fellow stars or her fellow celebrities there.
Yes.
Nakakatuwa siya.
Yeah. And as I mentioned kanina, like sobrang magaling siya mag-Tagalog and super nakakaya.
Oo.
Super nakakaya na like some of us, you know, you have our Konyo Arnian accent.
Okay lang naman yun.
Yeah.
Okay lang naman yun.
That's fine.
Pero sana, yun nga, oo, tama. Sana, mas matatas din tayo sa Filipino. But, it's fine.
Yes. Ooh, wow, that's a lot. It's a lot of stuff right there, a lot of names. And yeah, I mean, if you guys think, or if the younger generation likes Blackpink, 21 is the OG, guess. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're
Sobra.
the OG.
So, 21, First Generation, Wonder Girls, and FX. Yan, yung mga yan. Am I missing? Oo, marami pa sila.
Okay, before we resume, quick shout out to Benjamin Barredo. I'm sure he's one of your close friends. So.
Yes. My student.
Oh,
Hi, Ben.
Nice. All right, so I'm sure.
I think there.
All right. Sorry, we're having a little technical issues, but I was going to segue to this question over here. So while this topic is a very lighthearted one, we're just chilling, we're just sharing our favorite Korean acts and all. As happy as we are for them, some fan bases and just us in general, we can be a little bit concerned because it's not easy being a celebrity. Sabi nga ni Ayus sa kanyang bagong song.
Yeah. Mr. Sena kumanta.
Definitely. But all jokes aside, being a celebrity in general, but most especially in Korea for some reason, hindi siya madali. And parang it's super sad how there are a lot of Korean acts who get signs of depression, anxiety on certain occasions, and some pa nga have even taken their own lives. And RIP to Sully, and RIP to that one actress that passed away this past week. So I know we're both not psychologists, neither are we psychiatrists, but I don't know, it's hard to explain it. So ano kaya yung mga dahilan kung bakit their mental health can be unstable, Of course, there's the busy schedule and all that. But for me, I just really feel sorry for some of these idols because they're not just idols, like they're human beings like we are. They may be more popular, they have a bigger following, but we're both made of the same flesh, and when we're gone, like we're all gonna be buried 6 feet under. So ano kaya yung mga posibleng dahilan kung bakit their mental health can be very shaky at times, and ano masasabi mo sa
It can be a lot of yeah. I think it can be a lot of things. We can factor in a lot of things when it comes to these cases, these recent deaths. Yun nga, sabi mo nga we're not psychologists, and we can't diagnose, and we can't give actual tawag dito assessment sense of, what they're going through. Pero siguro nandun na rin yung pressure sa sa career nila. The pressure to be good at what they do, and dealing with, I guess, parang wanting to be, also wanting to live their lives while being celebrities. Yun. So maybe there's that struggle also na dealing with privacy, I guess.
Yeah.
Na hindi kasi syempre they're in the limelight all the time. So parang and they can't live their lives in secret, or they can't be themselves
Yeah.
in public. Diba? They can't be themselves at home when they're in public. So syempre yun din yun. Pressure in career, dealing with their private lives and their privacy, and parang so far yun yung pinaka naiisip ko. It's really maybe sometimes the demands and the pressure of being a celebrity, na they actually take its toll on the person. Kasi syempre yun, sabi mo nga, tao din sila. So syempre gusto rin nilang kahit papaano once in a while, gusto rin nilang mag-retreat. But what happens if they can't do that? What happens if they're always the center of attention, and their fans are stalking them? May mga sasing, may mga fans na ganyan, talagang diehard fans.
Yes.
Kung saan susundan ka. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Anong kinakain mo, anong binili mo sa convenience store? Ano yung last purchase mo sa ganitong boutique, ganun. And that's hard kasi syempre at the end of the day, they want to be by themselves and they want to be with their families. What if they can't have that? What if they can't have that and they can't deal with that? So it can be a trigger for anxiety and stress, and eventually even depression.
Yeah.
So baka pag ganun, it's a lot of things actually, Jake. So but yes, it's a little alarming and a little saddening na parang isa-isa silang nare-report recently, at saka ang daming cases ang daming deaths recently, tapos ang babata pa nila. So, and syempre yung mga kaibigan din nilang mga celebrities parang hindi rin makapaniwala, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So, and IU is actually one of them, diba? That's why IU has been writing these really heartwarming songs, dedicating the songs to her friends who have passed on.
Yeah, super class act talaga, especially the recent song. And you were mentioning, diba, like there are these sasaengs na they'll do anything and everything to just
Yes.
they'll do anything and everything to get your attention. So if on the one hand you have super toxic stans, on the other side of the equation you have super toxic haters, and I think if you compound all these all together, like that's gonna be a recipe for disaster. And I think that's why, sinabi ko kanina, how the army, like the BTS army, like they can be super obsessive at times. Na they'll talk back at other fan bases. They're gonna be, trash talking them for a bit if their group doesn't get any awards because of other artists thriving. As I said earlier, guys, like it's okay to like your fandoms, or it's okay to like your favorite musicians and all of that, pero dapat hinay-hinay lang tayo. Like at the end of the day, it's just music. There are bigger things in life that are more important than getting awards, because awards, they'll come and go, that's for sure, but these lives, you can't replace them kapag nawala na yun. So, let's do our part, to keep all of our mental health, as stable and healthy as possible.
Yes, yes. Meron kaming, the four of us, yung kaming magkakaibigan. We have a line and we have a rule that we live by.
Mhm.
And actually, I also live by this rule with my friend Darlene. Na parang when you fangirl with class, diba?
Yeah.
So kung makikipag-away, and when you communicate with other fans online on IG or on FB or in the different fan cafes, and yes, those fan cafes exist. So when you get in touch with, when you communicate with other fans, you do so respectfully,
Yeah.
and what works for you, what you like may not actually be what the other person likes. And you respect that. Hindi mo naman, huwag kang patola every time.
Yeah.
Mahirap. It's stressful. Diba? So, when you fanboy or when you fangirl, you fanboy or fangirl with class. Happy lang tayo dito, guys. Diba? And I'm pretty sure BTS, sina Taeyong, sina V, parang hindi rin nila ma-appreciate when they find out that they're actually fans who are like this, who attack other fans.
Yeah.
Diba? And I mean, even if it's in the guise of coming to their rescue or diba, defending their stance. Yun.
Yeah.
Yan. Hi, Mr. Felipe. Hi, Robbie.
Yes. What is up?
Yan. Hi,
Wow.
hi.
Grabe, our chat is pretty busy tonight. Ang dami po ng engagement ngayon. Like, this is the most engagement I've had out of all my lives so far. So, truly appreciate everyone who's following. Wow, this is good stuff.
Thank you for joining.
Pero yeah, guys, sabi nga ni Ma'am, sabi naman natin kanina, to just stand but do it with class, do it with restraint. Yes, definitely. Like,
Good. Yeah.
let's not do anything that'll give these artists any red flags, or in the words of IU, yellow CARDs. Let's not give them any reason to request for restraining orders. Let's just
Exactly.
do it subtle, let's do it civilized, and let's just be peaceful about it. Okay lang naman na
Oo.
magka-celebrity crush. Just look at me and look at all this IU stuff in the background, but it pays to be responsible pa rin.
And me. Yes. Pays to be responsible fanboying and fangirling.
Yes.
I stand that. Tsaka that's understandable. Basta you have the resources and the time, diba, to do these things. And as long as wala kayong na-open, walang, diba?
Yeah. Definitely. Oh my gosh, grabe. Like, I know we're around an hour in, pero parang sobrang dami na natin pinag-usapan ngayon. And I know usually my podcast would have a lot of flow, a lot of order, but like I said earlier, this episode just exposed how much of stans we are when it comes to Korean culture in general. I may be late to the party, but grabe. Like, I'm pretty blessed, pretty happy to at least appreciate, maybe not be a huge fan unlike the rest of you guys, but the fact that I'm appreciating Korean culture, like these past few months and all, it's been a very great experience to say the least. And hopefully we can continue on, especially now na we're still in the middle of this quarantine period.
Alam mo, Jake, actually, parang because of this pandemic, marami nang naging K-drama fans. Yun, a lot of people are actually watching more K-dramas now. And I think we have, well, unfortunately, but yes, that's the truth. Parang, it's really because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, yun, I know a lot of people, I have a lot of friends who are actually waiting for new titles, new K-drama titles, because they've seen a whole lot of them on Netflix. They've watched all of the K-dramas on Netflix. So, okay lang din naman. Nakakatuwa lang kasi dumadami na kaming K-drama. So, yun.
Yeah, and my parents are no different as well because, diba, last year lumabas yung Chloe, diba? So, they gave it a try, and ever since they finished Chloe, every night they're always watching a new K-drama, rewatching a K-drama, like that's their type of dating now, in the new normal. Like they just head over to the room and just watch as much K-dramas as possible. Grabe. All because of Chloe.
Ikaw ba, have you watched a K-drama recently?
Honestly, hindi pa po eh. Like, I'm more of the K-pop side. But yeah, hopefully, maybe I can get into some K-dramas of my own. Definitely watching the IU ones, like Hotel Del Luna and Scarlet Heart.
And you can also look these up. You're the Best, Isung Shin, and the producers. And
yes.
so those are IU dramas. If you want to go with the OG title, try Dream High.
Oh,
Dun siya
yeah.
unang sumikat, Dream High.
School
With Kim
Girl.
Soo-yoon and Suzy, and Octek yun. So, yeah.
Nice.
And My Mister, ayun. Jake, you watch My Mister also. Kasi very good reviews. Very good.
Wow.
It's an IU drama also.
Mhm.
Yeah, you might want to watch that.
Definitely. Wow, great stuff. So I guess, grabe, it's been like an hour or so, but we can go on and on. But I guess, as one of our closing remarks, like, I know we said a lot of names, but I guess for you, ma'am, like, which of these names stand out to you the most? Like, ano na yung mga pinaka-paborito mong Korean personalities, whether mapa-K-drama yan or K-pop? Like, if you were to narrow down
Tanungin
your list, and
natin yung mga...
this goes for everyone too in the chat.
Pwede
So,
natin tanungin yung mga...
yes.
Yeah, I think they know.
Pero no, comment, like I said
Tanungin
earlier.
natin kung sino yung mga...
Like I said earlier, comment below your fandoms. I would love to know which groups or which artists you guys stand.
Yeah.
And I'm currently spamming Yuena right now. I'll just keep typing it. Just so for those who don't get it yet, you guys know. If you know, you know.
And if you're a Yuena, you are a Yuena. Tama ba yung pronunciation ko?
Hindi ko rin po alam na.
Yan. To answer your question, I'm actually, alam mo naman, I'm a K-drama fan. So, syempre, pag sinabi mong K-drama, Oppas, at saka mga Onni, di ba? But more on Oppas. My friends who know me very well will tell you that there are 4 of them. I have 4 Oppas in my heart. And those are actually, at may ranking yan. May rankings yung mga yan. But my top 2 are actually Hakbogum, and Yusungho. They are amazing actors. And they're very young. So, but yun nga, yun ang nakakatuwa sa kanila kasi at a very young age, what are they? What age are they? How old are they? 28? 27? Ayan, 28. Tama, 28. Oh, 28 pa lang sila pero ang dami na nilang recognition. So, yan. Just thinking of them actually makes me smile. So, there. Park Bo-gum and Yoo Seung-ho. Pagdating naman sa K-pop, syempre there's IU. IU talaga. And BTS. Yes. Syempre, BTS. And marami actually marami sa K-pop world. Pero yung dalawang yan, IU and BTS, they're actually they're my choice. Yes.
And yeah, if you guys see my hoodie, this IU 8 album cover.
Pansinin niyo yung hoodie.
Soga, the
That's
rapper
8, diba?
Yes.
Yes.
Features Soga, one of the rappers.
That's 8.
They did the collab last year, so FYI lang.
Yun nga nakakatuwa about IU is that magugulat ka na lang kasi ang tahimik niya. And parang siya si Taylor Swift. So magugulat ka na lang kasi ang tahimik niya. Tapos biglang, uy, you're making an album. You're working on an album. Uy, you're actually going to release a single. So, nakakatuwa siya. She works hard.
For sure.
For her age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So, ako naman, obviously, I have not really a long list, but a lot of names. So, kung ikaw, ma'am, puro oppa yung mga sinabi mo, ako naman will go to the Noonas. So, obviously, you can't go wrong with Jisoo from Blackpink. Like, of all the Blink members, super have a girl crush on Jisoo.
Jisoo.
Yes.
Who else?
Well, before we go to the others, like si Jisoo, grabe po, ma'am. Like, I think of all the members, siya yung pinaka-fluent mag-Korean. And even if her English is super baluktot, like sobrang cute. Yung pagka-English niya.
Diyos ko po, sa kinaganda nila, hindi pa naman mamukyutan ng mga tao sa kanila. Diba?
So yes, Jisoo definitely. Another Blink, Rosé, definitely another another K-pop artist that I like. And I just like her Australian accent.
Blackpink.
Yes. Her Australian accent, ma'am, grabe. Super fluent.
Very very obvious.
Very obvious. Obviously, you have Dara. You can't go wrong with Sandara. Super love Dara, and I like how she's super receptive po sa kultura natin dito sa Philippines.
She is. And she's matured actually. So if you follow her on Instagram and if you follow her works, pansin mo, she's matured. Yun.
Yeah, definitely.
Nakakatuwa.
So you have those. You also have Yerin, the girl who sang the Chloe theme. I actually really like her music po, man. Like, you should really check out her new album. Like, it's an all-English album also, ma'am. Like, her latest discography.
Good.
Like, straight English po. Sobrang galing po ni Yerin.
Yeah, I will check that. Is it on Spotify?
Yeah.
Because
it is.
Spotify is my go-to app when it comes to music. Okay.
So you have those.
I will check that out.
I'm sure there are a lot of names that come out or that emerge on the list, and maybe later I'll be able to comment those. But sorry, I'm sure you guys know by now these are great names, but none of them come close to Miss Lee Ji-yoon over here.
She goes by a lot of names actually. If you follow her on YouTube also, if you subscribe.
The nation's little sister.
Niya. So there's Yes. So Ayu's real name is Ijiyun. But if you also follow her on YouTube, she's also Ichigum. She's also Ichidong. Tama yung name. Nakakatawa siya. And she's actually she's very creative. She has all of these bright ideas for her music and her craft. So, yun. Easy yun.
Mhm.
Eh, she's so, well, tingnan mo naman yung itsura niya, di ba? Ang ganda-ganda niya. Kahit kaming mga onnis at mga titas, nagagandahan talaga kay Ayu.
Diba? Yeah, she doesn't look her
Mm-mm.
age. She really doesn't look her age, but like,
How old is she anyway? I think 25?
yeah, basta late 20s, but grabe, she doesn't look anything like her age. Sobrang nakakatawa.
Exactly. Kaya, yun. Who doesn't love Ijiyun, diba?
Yes. So yeah, I think that's gonna cap off our very lengthy but very great EP. So Miss Nuna, thank you very much for hopping. Honestly, I did not have any idea. I did not have any clue who to guess kasi ang daming pwedeng K-pop fan and all. But then I realized, you came in and, buti na lang you have a Korean fan account. So that, that validated my
That
reasons to have you on board.
stand out. That stand account, yes, so that I can fangirl with class. Yes. Please follow Next Door Nuna. So now you know who Next Door Nuna is. So yeah, I am on FB, I am on IG, and I'm also on Twitter.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you guys go. So if you wanna follow Ma'am, it's just right here on the screen at nextdoor_Nuna. Do you have any other plugs besides that, or okay na po kaya?
Just that.
Alright.
Just that. I actually, yun, buti talagang nagkaroon ako ng lakas na loob na gawin yan during the pandemic. Parang, if not now, then when, diba? So, yeah.
Yes. And ma'am, I guess, do me a favor po. Because diba, yung next door na account mo, like, you have some Korean personalities following you. I think si Stella Jang, she actually liked your post, which is crazy.
No, that's actually, alam mo, nagulat din ako nung una. Sabi ko, oh my God, Stella Jang. Hindi pala. It's her, it's a fan. Official, parang fan club. Parang ganun.
Yes.
I wish. But someday. Darating tayo dyan.
Pero ma'am, you have to do me a favor po. Like,
But,
please hook us up with IU. Help me make it happen.
of course.
It needs to happen.
Gagawin natin yan. I'll think so. We can do that.
That is
Gagawin
my
natin yan.
ultimate goal for
I think-
2021.
Diba? We just have to make her notice you and me
Mhm.
and all her other fans. So yeah, kaya natin yan.
Hindi magiging madali. Like, millions of fans around the world, but there's a will, there's a way, diba?
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely. So yes, we will make that happen.
Definitely. So, those are just my last minute requests and all that. And, I know, super off topic and super out of the box, pero ano pa yung chance na maging kami ni Ayu?
Jake, umila ka. As we see, diba, in some funny fan pages on FB, may pila po. So Jake, pumila ka.
Pero,
Mga, 1 million. Pero believe.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean na 0% yung, chances ko. As they say, you just gotta shoot your shot. Yes. as with anything in life.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there you guys go. I mean, it's a great EP for sure. Easily one of my favorites because we finally got to expose ourselves with how much of stance we are of not just IU, of not just Lee Min Ho, and not just Blackpink, not just Twice, and all these other all these other amazing Korean artists, but just every other personality that we may have not mentioned. So, ma'am, it was truly a pleasure having you on board, and major shout out,
Likewise.
major shout out
감사합니다.
to this very active chat. It was an active chat tonight.
Yes.
Again, shout out to these people.
Thank you guys thank you for joining us this evening.
And
감사합니다. 너무 감사합니다.
yes, even if we're already done, it's never too late. So even if this live video becomes a replay already, please do not hesitate to comment below your fandom or your favorite Korean acts. I would love to know them. And even on like Spotify and YouTube, just comment them below. Which K-pop artists, which K-drama actors you guys stand hardest. But if you wanna stand me, if you wanna follow me naman, hindi ka naman pinipilit. But if you wanna stand me, on IG, it is at joat.pod.dlro. So once again, it is at joat.pod.delro. For the personal naman, it is at Jake_Delro. On Twitter, it is at _Del_Ro_. On Facebook naman, it is facebook.com/joat.pod.delro. So if you just want to search it, it's Jake of all trades with Delro. This podcast can be streamed, televised, viewed, and listened to on the following platforms: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, Breaker, YouTube, and on Facebook Live. Oo nga po, ma'am, ang daming plugs, but it's part of the job.
Yes. If you're a content, diba? If you're a content creator and you're a blogger and it's one of your dreams to be an influencer, then why not go ahead, diba?
Yes, definitely po.
Yeah.
So, wow, we finally made it to the end. Grabe, ang dami po natin binahagi ngayong gabi, and it's fun.
True.
Even though super kalat at times, even though there were like dead noises and nagkaputulan, it was all worth it because at the end of the day, we were able to express how much we love.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Yeah.
It's fine. It happens to all of the best of us. Like, this is not the first time, so okay lang po yun, ma'am. It happens.
Thank you for having me, Jake. Thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. I rarely do this, but of course, for you.
Truly my pleasure. So with that out the way, that's a wrap, y'all. Thank you for tuning in today. Mga Del Oppas. Changing it up a little bit. Mga Del, because that's originally Del Bros and Sisters, but for the sake of this episode, it's Del Oppas at Noonas. And to all the other fan bases, but most especially to all the Yuanas tuning in tonight, or today, or whatever time it is in your area. This has been your one and only JOAT. She is your one and only next door Nuna. And we are both signing out. Hanggang sa susunod na usapan ng Chikahan. Annyeong, kamsahamnida, and Saranghae, everybody.
Annyeong.
Bye, guys. Annyeong.
Bye, Jake.